Back to basics. The van had been parked there all night. About midday, the rear doors opened, a ramp dropped down, and a pair of elephants came out and headed slowly down the road towards the high street. Sometime later, the doors opened again, and 2 lions strolled out, a male and a female. The male, a magnificent beast with a full, dark mane, looked across the road towards the park where some dogs roamed, but the lioness swished her tail angrily at him, and reluctantly, the lion followed her down towards the shopping arcade. It was only when the gorillas came out and went next door to the pub that I began to think that perhaps everything was not quite as normal as it ought to be in downtown suburbia. I put on my jacket and went downstairs to investigate. The van was an old, white-painted Leyland removals van, and these words were painted in bright royal purple letters down the side of the van. Noah and Sons, Conservationists, by celestial appointment. There was nobody that I could see in the front cab. In fact, the van looked totally deserted and neglected, covered as it was with a thick layer of road dirt and travel grime. If it hadn't been for the fact that elephants, lions and gorillas had all exited the van, you would assume the van had been abandoned. But unless I was hallucinating, somebody must have opened the doors to let the animals out. Just then, the gorillas lurched out of the pub and headed to the rear of the van. I could have sworn that one of them was humming a Madonna tune. The doors opened, and the gorillas, none too steadily, made their way up the ramp. I ran round to the back and up the ramp after them, but could see nothing. The gorillas seemed to have completely vanished. I walked a bit further into the van and came across a black-coloured partition wall dividing the van in two. I ran my hands over the partition and pushed and heaved, but the wall was solid, with none of the cracks you would expect around the edges of a door. "Hello," I called, hammering on the wall. "Hello, Mr. Noah?" An oblong-shaped light appeared in the wall, and an elderly man came through, although no door actually seemed to open. He was tall, with white hair and beard and bright twinkling green eyes. He wore blue overalls such as you can buy in DIY shops. "Yes, may I help you?" he asked. "Mr. Noah? Indeed so. Well, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a total fruit and nutcase, but I just saw 2 gorillas come out of the pub and walk in here." "Oh dear, they haven't been a nuisance, have they? Guy can get a bit out of hand if he gets onto the vodka. I do tell him to stick to red wine, but what can you do with a headstrong young gorilla, eh? No, it's not that, but I've seen elephants and lions as well, all coming out of here. Yes, it's their day out. They get a bit antsy stuck in here otherwise. Is it safe? I mean, letting them out like that?" "Yes, of course. They all know the highway code. Look left, look right, look left again before crossing the road and all that." "I don't mean for them. I mean for people. Just can't have lions roaming about. They might attack somebody." "I'll have you know, my lions are properly trained, taught to respect people and property. Not like some of the humans you see roaming around the street these days." I shook my head in bemusement. This was getting way too surreal for words. "What is this? Are you part of a circus?" "Good heavens, no. We're on a collection mission." "A collection mission?" "Yes, for the ARC's 2019 project, the Back to Basics tour." "Ark, as in Noah's Ark?" "Yes, absolutely." I didn't know who was the most crackers, him or me. "What are you, collecting?" I asked slowly. "Come through, I'll show you."